Guys, we have an urgent information coming out when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. That is a big, massive mushroom cloud there, and this is urgent news that's coming out, guys. It says here, Ukraine hits Russia 2-ups Black Sea oil export terminal. All right, so we're gonna see what's going on here. This is a massive hit. Give me a second here. That is huge. Overnight, Ukrainian strike drones conducted a major strike on the Bear 2-ups Black Sea oil export terminal, setting the facility and two tankers which were onboarding of the Bear oil ablaze. Now, drones struck the Rosneft terminal. The hit targeted the Bear main deep water oil export pier, used to ship millions of tons of fuel to Asian markets. Wow. A tanker was also damaged. After the strike, a massive fire broke out in the city, and firefighters struggled for hours to contain it. The initial strike triggered this massive event. Alright, guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support this channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you again for your support, guys. Hey, I got my cup of coffee from the Cash App. Thank you so much for that, guys. I went to not Dunkin' Donut. I went to McDonald's and just got me a cup of coffee there. For some reason, I kind of like their coffee. It's very good. I'm not a big Starbucks fan. Those coffee are way too strong. So strong, man. It's like, it's too much. All right, so once again, SBU drone hits Russia 2-ups tanker, triggering major fire again. All right, so we're going to see what's going on here, guys. They are really hitting the oil facility. So drone has struck oil facility at the 2-ups port of the Bear Black Sea coast yet again overnight on Sunday, setting major fire to an oil tanker as confirmed by multiple sources. 2-ups is home to one of the Bear largest Black Sea oil export terminals, handling several million tons of crude and oil product annually. Its proximity to Crane places it well within range of Ukrainian drones, and it says here eyewitnesses accounts show fire erupting at the seaport after a reported drone strike, with the Bear independent outlet Astra pinpointing at least 3 fires. One at the deepwater berthing complex of RNC Terminal 2-ups LLC, and another at the oil loading berth near the Southern Mole. They're really hitting these oil facilities. And the reason why Crane is doing that is so it could stop the kind of slow down these military strike, because Russia is using the profits from the oil. They're making a lot of money from these oil companies, and so they take that profit and they use it to continue their war operation inside Ukraine. So that's the reason Crane is hitting all those oil facilities, so it could kind of slow down the military strikes. And I do believe Donald is the one that's giving the green light. Donald is the one that's telling Zelensky, hit those oil facilities. Give me a second here, guys. I'm going to have to read this part here. They have too many advertisements. Authorities confirmed the attack, but attributed it to a drone crash, noting that damage to port infrastructure has been recorded. Now it says here, in the port of 2-ups, fragments of drones fell on an oil tanker. The deck superstructure was damaged. The tanker's crew was evacuated. a fire broke out on the vessel. Now, the terminal's buildings and infrastructures were also damaged. In addition, the glass in a railway station building was damaged. According to preliminary information, there are no injuries, the statement adds. Now, Kiev Post, source in the security service of Crane, later confirmed the strike. The SBU source told Kiev Post that its Alpha Special Operation Center, in cooperation with other military branches, was responsible for the strike that it said hit a tanker and the loading infrastructure of the oil terminal of the port of Tuapse. Now, the SBU said there were 5 drone hits recorded, setting a tanker on fire and disabling at least 4 oil tanker standards that load and unload tankers were disabled. Now, port buildings were also reportedly damaged. According to source, the aim is to limit Russia's oil income. There you go. A key source of funding for its war in Ukraine. So that's why I just mentioned a few minutes ago. They're hitting those oil facilities because that's their profit. That's Russia's profit right there. That's the reason why this war is going on for almost 4 years. The security service continues to strike at the Russian oil refining infrastructure, which gives the enemy resources for aggression against Ukraine. Once again, Russia's Ministry of Defense said it downed 164 Ukrainian drones overnight, 32 over the Krasnodar Krai, where Tuapse is located, as well as 39 over the Black Sea. Now, Tuapse and Crane's wider campaign against Russian oil. Oil facilities at Tuapse, located in Russia's Krasnodar Krai, have been a frequent target for Crane's growing long-range campaign against the Russian oil facilities. The Tuapse refinery, owned by the Russian oil company Rosneft, has an annual processing capacity of approximately 12 million tons of crude oil. The plant specializes in primary oil refining, producing straight-run gasoline, diesel fuel, and fuel oil, with a significant portion exported. When your country has oil, I mean, again, you have the profit, you have the money to continue these wars. Again, you have those countries in the Mid-Eastern that have all them oil. There's always war going on. So the seaport was one of the targets of a Ukrainian naval drone strike on September 24, with Ukraine's defense intelligence calling the strike a targeted move against shadow oil exports by the aggressor state of Russia. Earlier in July, HUR launched another strike on oil refineries in Tuapse using unmanned aerial vehicles, drones. In March, the regional governor confirmed that a major fire broke out and spread over 1,000 square meters after one of the gasoline storage tanks caught fire. Once again, Zelensky previously said Crane strikes on Russian oil infrastructure have reduced Moscow refining and fuel output by roughly 20 to 27%, contributing to fuel shortages and long queues at stations. Several refineries have been forced offline, prompting Russia to shift production to other plants. He added that 90 or 95% of long-range strike deep inside Russia are now carried out with Ukrainian-made weapons, with only limited use of British Storm Shadow and the French Scalp missiles. Zelensky said Ukraine will continue targeting such facilities to undermine Russia's ability to finance the war. So once again, the leader is putting out his message. They will continue hitting the oil facilities to kind of stop the bear Russia ability to finance the war. And just looking at this picture here, that was a massive hit. That was a huge hit right there. All right, give me a second here, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me go on X really quick. There we go. Okay. Reuters is putting out the information too. Kiev General Staff said in a statement that its forces had struck infrastructure of the Tuapse oil refinery. An official from Ukraine's SBU Domestic Security Service said 5 recorded drone strike on an oil terminal had damaged an oil tanker, loading infrastructure, and nearby port buildings. Man. Let me go on X really quick here, guys. I mean, you guys, some of this stuff here. I try not to show too much of the videos. Once again, a source in Crane SBU Internal Security Agency says 5 drones hit a tanker and loading infrastructure at an oil terminal in Russia Tuapse port overnight. The source says the strike, the latest against Moscow energy sector, caused fire/damage to the facility. Here's a picture. Wow. So they crossed the entire Black Sea and passed Sevastopol, I think Crimea, and headed straight east. And they, geez, Ukraine has stepped up with them operation. So Ukrainian strike on Tuapse oil terminal and Shadow Fleet tankers demonstrate how to properly sanction Moscovia with explosive instead of paperwork. Alright, guys, it seems like this is all the information here. But again, that was a massive hit. I mean, you got all these pictures coming out. Ooh, yeah, that's not good. That is not good. All right, Ukrainian drone strike ignites the Bear oil tanker. All right, so again, that was a big operation there. Mission completed by Ukraine. The oil facilities are getting hit left and right. All right, so I would keep you updated with all this news here, guys. Do me a favor, check out the videos I posted today. The links will be in the comments box. Make sure you follow me on my 3rd channel, Prepper Watch News. If you guys want all the updates when it comes to the Snap EBTs, again, all the information will be there. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for he's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.